Have you ever wondered if your thoughts have the power to shape the world around you? What if every belief you hold, every emotion you nurture, and every intention you set is not just a fleeting moment in your mind, but a force that ripples through reality itself? Science and philosophy are converging to reveal something extraordinary: that consciousness is not just a byproduct of the brain, but an active participant in the unfolding of the universe. From the mysteries of quantum mechanics to the power of collective human focus, we are beginning to understand that reality is not something fixed, but something fluid, something we create with our awareness, our choices, and our energy. If your thoughts truly influence your body, your environment, and even the collective consciousness of humanity, then what kind of reality are you shaping each day? More importantly, what kind of world do you want to create? If you're ready to take control of your mind, your energy, and your future, then let's explore this journey together. If you're committed to unlocking your full potential, comment 1 below so I and everyone here know that you're ready to take this step. Have you ever stopped to wonder whether the world around you is truly fixed, or if it bends and shifts according to the way you perceive it? Science now tells us something extraordinary. The mere act of observation changes reality. This isn't a metaphor or wishful thinking, it's a fundamental principle of quantum physics, known as the observer effect. Imagine for a moment that you are looking at a beautiful lake at dawn. The water is still, a perfect mirror reflecting the sky above. But the moment you toss a pebble into it, ripples spread outward, changing the surface. Now imagine that your thoughts, your focus, your very awareness are like that pebble. With each moment of attention, you send out ripples that alter the fabric of reality itself. This isn't speculation, it's science. In the strange and counterintuitive world of quantum mechanics, particles exist in multiple states at once until they are observed. The famous double-slit experiment demonstrated this in a striking way. When scientists shot tiny particles through 2 slits in a barrier, the particles behaved like waves, creating an interference pattern on a screen behind them until they were observed. The moment they were measured, they stopped behaving like waves and acted as particles, as if they knew they were being watched. This baffling discovery suggests that reality does not simply exist independently of us. Rather, our awareness influences what becomes real. Now, let's bring this idea into your everyday life. Think about how perception shapes experience. Have you ever noticed that when you focus on pain, it seems to intensify? Or when you dwell on worries, your mind begins to find more things to be anxious about? On the other hand, when you focus on gratitude or love, your world seems to brighten. This is not just a matter of attitude. Your thoughts literally shape the pathways in your brain. Neuroscience has shown that the brain is plastic. It can be rewired based on where you direct your focus. Dr. Richard Davidson, a neuroscientist at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, discovered that long-term meditation practitioners physically alter the structure of their brains, strengthening the neural circuits associated with compassion and positive emotions while reducing those linked to stress and fear. What does this mean for you? It means that by shifting your focus, you are not just changing your thoughts, you are physically changing your brain. But let's go deeper. If observation affects quantum particles, and if your brain itself is an electrical network influenced by these quantum processes, then doesn't it follow that your focused attention has the power to shape the reality around you? Consider the placebo effect, one of the most well-documented phenomena in medical science. People given sugar pills, told they are receiving a powerful drug, often experience genuine healing. Their belief alone triggers real physiological changes. If belief can heal the body, what else can it do? Could it be that when you choose to focus on what you want, on health, on happiness, on possibilities, you are quite literally influencing reality in ways you don't yet fully understand? Ancient wisdom traditions have hinted at this truth for centuries. In Taoism, there is the idea of wei wu wei, action through non-action, a state of focused awareness that allows things to unfold naturally. In Christianity, faith is often spoken of as the power that moves mountains. In Hindu philosophy, the concept of Maya suggests that reality is, at its core, shaped by perception. But now, science is catching up with what these traditions have long understood. Reality is not a rigid structure, but a field of infinite possibilities until you observe it, focus on it, and bring it into form. So how can you harness this? The first step is awareness. Pay attention to where your focus goes throughout the day. Do you spend more time dwelling on what's wrong or envisioning what could go right? The second step is intentional observation. Instead of allowing your thoughts to wander, practice directing them with purpose. Each morning, set an intention. Picture it clearly in your mind, as though it is already real. The third step is emotional alignment. Remember, thought alone is not enough. Emotion amplifies its power. Neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza has demonstrated that when people combine focused thought with elevated emotions such as gratitude, joy, or love, they create measurable changes in their brainwaves, immune function, and even their external circumstances. Imagine waking up each day and consciously choosing to see the world not as it is, but as it could be. What if, instead of reacting to life, you started shaping it? You have this power. Every thought is a seed. Every focused moment of awareness is a brushstroke on the canvas of your reality. What will you choose to paint? Imagine for a moment that you are standing in a vast forest. The towering trees sway gently, their roots intertwined beneath the soil in an invisible network of connection. Though each tree appears independent, beneath the surface, they share nutrients, exchange signals, and respond to each other's presence through an intricate web known as the mycorrhizal network. What if I told you that human beings are no different? That beneath the surface of our individual experiences, we are bound by an unseen thread, linked in ways science is only beginning to understand? This is not poetry. It is physics. Quantum entanglement, one of the most baffling discoveries in modern science, suggests that once two particles become connected, they remain linked regardless of distance. Change the state of one, and the other responds instantly even if they are separated by vast stretches of space. Albert Einstein called this spooky action at a distance. Yet today it is an established fact of quantum mechanics. And if particles, the fundamental building blocks of all matter, can remain connected beyond space and time, then what does that mean for us? Consider the moments in your life when you've thought of someone out of the blue, only to have them call you moments later. Or the times when you've walked into a room and instantly sensed tension in the air without anyone saying a word. These are not coincidences. Science has shown that our brains emit electromagnetic fields, capable of influencing and being influenced by those around us. The HeartMath Institute has conducted extensive research on how the human heart, which generates an electromagnetic field measurable several feet away, can sync with others in close proximity. This means that emotions, intentions, and even physiological states can be transmitted and received beyond words, beyond touch, perhaps even beyond conscious awareness. If we accept that the world operates not just through physical interactions but through fields of energy, then the way we think, feel, and focus does not simply stay within us. It ripples outward, shaping the experiences of those around us and, in turn, shaping the reality we collectively inhabit. Look at history, and you'll see the power of collective consciousness in action. When large groups of people align their focus toward a shared goal, the world shifts. Think of the civil rights movement, where the determined belief in equality altered the course of a nation. Consider scientific revolutions, where a handful of minds, thinking in synchrony, brought forth ideas that transformed the very fabric of civilization. Princeton University's Global Consciousness Project has collected data for over 2 decades, measuring deviations in random number generators during major world events, acts of terror, moments of global celebration, mass meditations. Time and time again, these seemingly random systems display unexpected coherence, as if human focus and emotion create measurable effects in the physical world. What does this tell us? It tells us that our minds are not isolated islands but part of an interconnected ocean of thought and energy. This has profound implications for how we live. If our thoughts influence not only our own well-being but the emotional and energetic landscape of those around us, then we must take responsibility for what we project into the world. The first step is awareness. Start noticing how you feel in different environments. When you spend time with people who are positive, hopeful, and kind, do you not feel uplifted? Conversely, when you are surrounded by negativity and fear, does it not seem to drain you? This is the silent communication of energy at play. The second step is intentionality. Make a conscious effort to direct your thoughts toward what you want to create, rather than what you fear. Studies in psychology have shown that when people practice gratitude and positive visualization, not only do their stress levels decrease, but their immune function improves. The third step is action. Engage in simple yet powerful practices that align your energy with the world you wish to shape. Meditation, even for a few minutes a day, helps to quiet the noise of scattered thoughts and align your focus. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, send ripples of positivity into the world. Even something as simple as truly listening to another person, offering your presence without distraction, reinforces the web of human connection in ways deeper than we may ever fully understand. Now imagine what might happen if more people began to live this way, deliberate, connected, aware of the invisible bonds that unite us. Imagine the kind of world we could create if our collective focus shifted toward solutions rather than problems, compassion rather than division, possibility rather than despair. It is easy to feel small in the vastness of existence, to believe that one mind, one thought, one action does not matter. But remember, a single pebble tossed into a lake sends ripples across the entire surface. A single candle can illuminate a darkened room. The world does not change all at once, but in moments of choice, moments of awareness, moments of connection. And in this very moment, you are part of it. Picture your brain not just as a network of firing neurons, but as a vast symphony of energy and information, where every thought is a note, every memory a melody, and every intention a guiding rhythm shaping the song of your life. For centuries, we have been told that the mind is merely the result of electrical impulses zipping through the brain, but modern science is revealing something far more profound. Deep within the cells of your brain lie structures called microtubules, tiny, intricate scaffolds that may be the missing link between the physical brain and the quantum world. What if I told you that your very consciousness, your sense of self, might not be confined to your brain at all, but instead emerges from the interplay of quantum processes happening inside these microscopic structures? This is not just speculation. It is the foundation of the orchestrated objective reduction theory, proposed by physicist Sir Roger Penrose and anesthesiologist Dr. Stuart Hameroff. Their research suggests that consciousness itself arises from quantum computations occurring in microtubules, meaning that your thoughts are not just biochemical reactions, but events that interact with the very fabric of reality. If this is true, then the implications are staggering. It would mean that your mind is not simply generating thoughts within the limits of your skull, but tapping into an invisible field of possibilities, much like an antenna tuning into an unseen frequency. Think about those moments of sudden inspiration, the times when an idea seems to appear out of nowhere, or when a solution to a problem emerges in a dream. Could it be that your brain, rather than inventing these insights, is accessing a deeper level of reality? Neuroscience has already shown that the brain operates at different frequencies depending on mental state. When you are alert and focused, your brain emits beta waves. When you relax, it shifts into alpha. And in deep states of meditation, the brain produces theta and even gamma waves, patterns associated with heightened creativity and intuition. What's remarkable is that these brainwave states can be intentionally cultivated. Studies conducted at the University of Wisconsin-Madison on long-term meditators found that experienced practitioners exhibited unusually high gamma wave activity, indicating enhanced neural connectivity and a heightened state of awareness. This means that through training, you can literally reshape the way your brain functions, strengthening its ability to perceive, process, and create reality in more profound ways. But what does this mean in practical terms? If your consciousness is indeed linked to quantum processes, then your focus and intention matter far more than you might think. Consider the famous placebo effect, where patients given sugar pills often experience real healing simply because they believe they are receiving treatment. The effect is so powerful that it has been shown to work even when patients know they are taking a placebo, suggesting that the mere expectation of improvement triggers a physiological response. Now take this one step further. If belief can alter biology, what else can it influence? Could it be that the way you think, the emotions you hold, and the patterns of attention you cultivate are actively shaping not just your brain, but your entire reality? The key, then, is learning to harness this power consciously. The first step is mental discipline. In a world filled with distractions, most people allow their minds to wander aimlessly, consumed by worries, regrets, and scattered thoughts. But just as an athlete trains their body, you can train your mind. Simple practices like focused breathing, mindfulness meditation, or even spending a few minutes each day directing your attention toward a specific goal can strengthen the neural pathways associated with clarity and intention. The second step is emotional alignment. Neuroscientists have discovered that emotions act as amplifiers for thought. A fleeting idea has little power, but when combined with strong emotion, whether joy, gratitude, or even determination, it becomes a force of transformation. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research on brain-heart coherence has shown that when individuals cultivate elevated emotions while focusing on a desired outcome, they produce measurable changes in their brain activity, heart rate variability, and even gene expression. In other words, when you align your thoughts with positive emotional energy, you are biologically programming yourself for success. Finally, the third step is integration. Understanding quantum consciousness is not enough, you must apply it. Begin each day with a clear intention, whether it's a goal you wish to achieve, a state of mind you want to cultivate, or simply a commitment to be fully present in your interactions. Pay attention to how your thoughts influence your emotions and vice versa. Notice the moments when you feel inspired, energized, or deeply connected, and ask yourself, what state of mind produced this experience? Over time, you will begin to see patterns, and with awareness comes the ability to direct those patterns deliberately. Science is only beginning to uncover what ancient wisdom traditions have long understood, that the mind is far more powerful than we have been led to believe. The discoveries in quantum physics and neuroscience are pointing toward a reality where thought, energy, and consciousness are deeply intertwined. If your mind is not merely a byproduct of the brain but a field of awareness interacting with the universe itself, then you have more control over your life than you ever imagined. You are not a passive observer. You are a participant in the unfolding of reality. The question is, what will you choose to create? Imagine standing at the edge of a quiet lake at dawn, the surface smooth as glass. You pick up a stone and gently toss it in. Ripples expand outward, each wave touching the next, moving across the entire lake. Now consider this. What if your thoughts, your emotions, your deeply held beliefs work the same way? What if every focused intention you hold sends out ripples not just within your mind, but into the very fabric of reality itself? This idea, often associated with manifestation, is not just a mystical concept. It is grounded in the principles of quantum mechanics and neuroscience. Every thought is energy, every emotion a frequency, and together they create the waves that shape the world around you. But how does this actually work, and more importantly, how can you use it to transform your life? Quantum physics has long shown us that the world is not made of fixed, solid objects, but of possibilities, fields of energy that respond to observation. The famous double-slit experiment proved that the mere act of watching changes how particles behave, suggesting that consciousness is not separate from the universe but woven into its very structure. Dr. Amit Goswami, a quantum physicist, describes this as the observer effect, where reality does not exist in a definite state until it is perceived. If observation collapses potential into reality, then your focus, where you place your attention, is actively shaping what unfolds in your life. This is not just abstract theory. It has practical implications for your health, relationships, and even your ability to bring about desired outcomes. Consider the placebo effect, one of the most well-documented phenomena in medical science. Studies have repeatedly shown that patients who believe they are receiving a powerful drug often experience healing even when they are given nothing more than a sugar pill. Their belief alone triggers physiological changes, activating the brain's natural pharmacy to release healing chemicals. Neuroscientist Dr. Joe Dispenza has taken this idea further, demonstrating in his research that when people combine a clear intention with strong elevated emotions such as gratitude or joy, they can create measurable changes in their biology. In his studies, individuals who visualized healing while cultivating deep emotional engagement showed improvements in immune function, heart coherence, and even genetic expression. The lesson here is profound. Belief is not passive. It is a force that influences matter itself. But belief alone is not enough. The energy behind a thought determines its impact, and the greatest amplifier of thought is emotion. Imagine a simple wish, like hoping for a sunny day. That thought by itself is weak, it is fleeting, lacking intensity. Now imagine reliving a powerful moment of gratitude, a time when you felt deeply connected to life, when your heart swelled with appreciation. That emotion is like fuel, charging your thoughts with energy. Research in heart-brain coherence shows that when thoughts and emotions align, the electromagnetic field of the body strengthens, expanding far beyond the physical form. The HeartMath Institute has found that the heart's field can synchronize with others nearby, suggesting that our focused intentions do not remain trapped inside us but radiate outward, influencing the environment in ways we are only beginning to understand. So how can you harness this understanding to create meaningful changes in your life? The first step is clarity. You must define what you truly want, not just in vague terms, but with precision. Neuroscience tells us that the brain is a goal-seeking mechanism. When you give it a clear target, it filters information to support that goal. This is why once you decide to buy a certain kind of car, you suddenly start seeing it everywhere. Your brain is now attuned to that frequency. The second step is emotional alignment. It is not enough to simply state a desire, you must feel it as if it is already real. Athletes have long used this technique. Visualization studies have shown that mentally rehearsing a movement activates the same neural pathways as physically performing it. The more vividly you imagine an outcome with emotion, the more your brain begins to perceive it as reality. The third step is consistency. One moment of focused thought is like tossing a single pebble into the lake. Repeated focus is like a steady stream, continuously shaping the waves. The key is to cultivate a daily practice, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply pausing each morning to set a clear intention. Many people approach manifestation as a passive wish, but true creation requires alignment between thought, emotion, and action. If you want better health, for example, it is not enough to simply think about it, you must adopt behaviors that reinforce that belief. If you seek deeper relationships, your actions must reflect openness and connection. This is where the power of self-awareness becomes essential. What limiting beliefs are running in the background of your mind? What unconscious fears or doubts counteract your intentions? Studies in neuroplasticity have shown that repeated thought patterns create deeply ingrained neural pathways, meaning that if you have spent years focusing on lack or limitation, your brain is wired to reinforce that perspective. The good news is that with conscious effort, you can rewire those patterns. By consistently shifting focus toward possibility, gratitude, and intentional creation, you reshape the very structure of your mind. Perhaps the most compelling evidence of the power of intention comes from experiments on group consciousness. In multiple studies, when large numbers of people meditated on peace in high-conflict areas, crime rates dropped significantly during the focused meditation periods. The Global Consciousness Project has recorded statistical anomalies in random number generators during major world events, suggesting that collective human focus influences patterns at a fundamental level. If thought can ripple outward on such a scale, imagine what is possible when you take control of your own. Every day, you are shaping your life with your thoughts, whether consciously or unconsciously. The question is not whether you are manifesting, but what you are manifesting. Are you focusing on fear, doubt, and limitation? Or are you directing your mind toward health, abundance, and possibility? The choice is yours. The mind is not just a passive observer of reality. It is an active participant. Reality is a canvas, and your focused intention is the brush. What will you choose to create? Imagine for a moment that your mind is not contained within your body, that your thoughts do not end where your skull does, but instead extend outward, weaving into an invisible network of consciousness that connects every living being. This is not just a poetic metaphor, it is a reality suggested by both ancient wisdom and modern science. We live in a world where everything is entangled, not just at the microscopic level of quantum particles, but within the grand orchestration of human thought and intention. Studies on global consciousness have shown time and time again that when large groups of people focus their minds in unison, the measurable effects ripple out into the world in ways that defy conventional explanation. The Global Consciousness Project at Princeton University has recorded statistical anomalies in random number generators that correlate with major world events, as if human awareness itself is influencing the very fabric of probability. What does this mean for you? It means that your thoughts do not exist in isolation. The energy you cultivate within your mind contributes to the greater whole, shaping the shared experience of reality for all of us. Think back to the times in your life when you have felt truly connected, whether in a moment of deep conversation, during a shared experience of awe, or simply in the presence of someone whose energy resonated with yours. We have all felt this invisible thread linking us to others. Science is now catching up to what we have long intuited, that human beings are wired for connection, not just emotionally but biologically. Studies in neuroscience show that when people interact in meaningful ways, their brainwaves synchronize. Researchers at the University of California have demonstrated that during deep conversation, the neural activity of two individuals can align, as if their minds are temporarily sharing the same frequency. This synchronization is not limited to face-to-face interaction. Remarkably, even when people meditate together across vast distances, their heart rates and brainwave patterns often begin to mirror each other. This suggests that consciousness operates beyond the boundaries of physical proximity, reinforcing the idea that we are participating in a field of awareness that extends far beyond our individual minds. If this is true, then it carries a profound responsibility. Every thought, every intention, every emotional state you cultivate does not just affect you, it radiates outward, influencing those around you and contributing to the broader field of human consciousness. This means that when you choose to dwell in fear, in anger, in despair, you are not only shaping your own experience but adding to the collective energy of those emotions in the world. Conversely, when you cultivate gratitude, compassion, and a vision of possibility, you are helping to shift the larger landscape of human thought. This is not an abstract philosophy. It is the foundation of social change. Look at history, and you will see that every great movement from civil rights to scientific revolutions began with a shift in collective thought. When enough minds focus on a new reality, the world bends in that direction. But what does this mean for your daily life? How can you harness this understanding to create tangible change, both for yourself and for the world around you? The first step is awareness. Begin by noticing the quality of your thoughts and emotions throughout the day. Are you unconsciously absorbing negativity from the media, from conversations, from your own habitual thought patterns? Awareness alone is powerful. It shines a light on unconscious programming and allows you to make a different choice. The second step is intention. Each morning, before the rush of the day begins, take a moment to set a clear intention for how you wish to move through the world. Neuroscientific research has shown that the brain is highly responsive to pre-commitment. When you consciously decide how you want to think and feel, you are far more likely to follow through. The third step is practice. Like any skill, shaping your consciousness requires daily effort. Meditation, visualization, and even simple breathing exercises can help you stay aligned with the energy you wish to cultivate. The HeartMath Institute has found that just 5 minutes of focused breathing combined with a positive emotional state can create measurable improvements in heart rate variability, a key indicator of overall well-being. This means that you have the ability at any moment to shift your internal state and, in doing so, contribute positively to the larger web of consciousness. Perhaps the most profound realization is that global consciousness is not something separate from you, it is you. Every choice you make, every thought you hold, every emotion you nurture is part of the great unfolding of human experience. You are not insignificant. You are not powerless. You are a participant in the shaping of reality itself. So the question becomes, what kind of world do you want to help create? Will you add to the noise of division, or will you be a source of clarity? Will you dwell in fear, or will you embody possibility? The choice is not made once. It is made moment by moment, thought by thought, in the small actions that ripple outward in ways you may never fully see. But rest assured, those ripples reach farther than you can imagine. If enough of us choose to live with awareness, with intention, with a deep understanding of our interconnectedness, then the future is not something that happens to us, it is something we create together.